Today we're going to talk about getting high notes to come out on the clarinet. Sometimes it's difficult to get high notes to come out, and it's usually because we just aren't keeping our embouchure strong enough or not putting enough pressure up on our top teeth as we go higher. So in addition to that, there's several other things that we want to remember. Okay, first of all, we've already talked about good hand position. Okay, so it's really important that our hands are in the correct position and that we're properly covering keys and keeping our fingers nice and close and curved over the keys. Okay, that's one thing. The next thing is we want to remember that our embouchure has to stay very strong. We can't move our head forward or down in order to get the notes to come out, and we don't want to move the bell of our clarinet either. We don't want to move that out. So we want to make sure we keep all of this really solid. We keep the right amount of mouthpiece in our mouth too. And we talked about how far down your bottom lip has to go in previous episodes and where your top teeth have to go. And that's why it's really important to have that patch on there, because the patch is really great for giving us a nice cushion on our teeth, and it helps us when we want to achieve getting those high notes to come out too. So when we have it in our mouth, we want to have it in, again, good embouchure. So the left hand thumb is going to be pushing forward and the right hand thumb is going to be pushing upward. So we have that extra pressure pushing. Now we want to keep that pressure all the time. We want to always make sure that we're keeping top teeth, good top teeth pressure, upper lip corners pulled in, and our nice flat chin when we play in every register. But when we play going up to the high register, like we're going up to the C above the staff, the high C, we want to make sure we're really thinking that good pressure and keeping this really strong while we're pushing our thumbs forward and up. Okay. All right. The last thing we want to think about again is our tongue position. So as we get higher on the clarinet, we want to make sure we get our tongue position higher in the back. It's like we're saying he, or kind of pulling our air in like this, like that. So the tongue has to be higher than it would be if it was in the lower position. Okay. All right. So just to practice going from low to high again, we're going to start on low A. Okay. And I'm just going to add the register key right here, and I'm just going to get that upper one. So you can remember what you got to do here. Going to keep pushing up and forward with your thumbs. Embouchure is going to be nice and strong, and we're going to get low A, and then we add the register key in the back. Remember, thumb is at 1 o'clock, and we're going to get the E on top of the staff. Okay. Okay, so with not much effort, I was able to get that smooth connection between the two. And all I did was, I didn't change this. All I did was I kept my air moving fast. I moved my thumb just very, very slightly at that 1 o'clock position. So I was able to get that key to move. And I kept my thumb covering these keys. So that's the other thing. Make sure your keys are being covered by your fingers. Okay, so now I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to do it where I play the low G and I get the D, just for practice again. Okay, low G to D. Okay, so again, so you have that feeling again of the pressure and the movement towards, practice a couple of those first. Okay, so now when you feel really confident that you have that, now we're going to try to go up to the high C. Okay, so first thing, embouchure strong, okay, fingers are in the right place. Make sure you're not moving your head and the bell around when you do it, and keep pushing forward and up with your thumbs so we can get that pressure mostly on the top. It's top teeth pressure. Okay, try not to tighten up your throat or anything like that. Just think that nice he as you're going up. So I'm going to start on E because that's the one we first started with on the top there. I'm going to get that E, and as I go higher, I'm going to keep thinking about my air being really fast. I'm going to keep pressing into my top teeth here, making sure this all stays very strong and firm. And those thumbs are going to go. Okay, here we go. Okay, so when I started with the E, I just kept pushing my air fast, and I kept thinking, he, kept my throat and my tongue high position. My throat was nice and relaxed, and I didn't tense up or anything, and I didn't move my bell around. Okay, so one more time. Okay. Okay, and I would recommend just slurring at first and before you start trying to tongue those notes when you're not used to tonguing up in the high register. because you want to get that idea of how this actually feels when you're playing. You want to make sure you have that first before we start adding the articulation. So slurring at first when you're working on that, okay? So it's that easy. It's just a main thing to remember is to do all the things you already know. Proper embouchure, keep your embouchure nice and strong, okay? Into the top teeth, making sure that you have your teeth and you have the right amount of mouthpiece in your mouth when you're playing, and you're taking your right hand, left hand thumb, pushing forward, right hand thumb, pushing up, and we keep that bell right about at the knees, okay? Relax here, keep all this relaxed. Make sure you have a nice full breath of air, okay? So just like that. Now, if you were going to play your C scale, you would start down here on that note, and you would just keep pushing all the way through. Okay, and as I was playing that high note, I was thinking, nice and high, tongue position in the back, okay? Remember again, when you're playing in different registers, make sure that you think about how you'd sing in that high register. And I think my eyebrows also, it helps a little bit too if you think like you're very tall. Be really tall, and when we're tall and when we sing, you have this nice straight posture. If you raise your eyebrows up a little bit, like that, it tends to make everything kind of stretch this way, which helps us to keep this nice and long and relaxed, and helps to get our tongue in the right place too. So sometimes I'll tell students to make sure you be very tall. Think tall, be good posture, keep those eyebrows high when you're playing, and keep pushing that air too. The eyebrow thing is just a little extra help to make sure we're not getting all tense and, bearing down on it. If you think high eyebrows, like surprised look when you're playing, it does help to try to keep everything more open and more relaxed when you're playing. So again, start with some of the little jumps. They call them gorilla jumps in some of the books, just to make sure you're getting a comfortable feel, jumping from a low register up to the upper register. And then when you feel really solid on like that E or a D or the C, then just push that air fast, go straight up to the high C, okay? All right, good luck, and I will see you the next time.